On a quiet winter day, the small Sakhalin village of Starodubskoye became the epicenter of an incredible rescue operation that united dozens of concerned people in a fight for the lives of 4 mighty marine predators. None of the local residents could recall anything like it. 4 orcas, each weighing more than 7 tons, found themselves in a deadly trap between coastal rocks and merciless ice flows. Time was working against them, and every minute could prove fatal. The frosty air trembled with the distressed exhalations of the giant mammals when rescuers first assessed the scale of the tragedy. The enormous black and white bodies were practically immobilized, wedged between sharp edges of ice and treacherously shallow bottom. The rising sea turbulence and offshore wind became the first glimmer of hope. 2 orcas, taking advantage of the water movement, managed to slip out of the icy trap and retreat to deeper waters. Soon the 3rd followed, leaving behind a trail of water spouts from its blowhole. But the last orca, the largest of the group, was in critical condition. 7.5 tons of living weight practically lay on the coastal rocks, and any movement could lead to serious injury. Rescuers immediately began developing an action plan. The initial idea of using a vessel to break the ice had to be abandoned due to insufficient depth near the shore. Time was running out, and when the huge black fin of the orca began to droop, specialists raised the alarm. This was a clear sign of severe stress. The animal needed immediate help, and the countdown began literally by the hour. The main task became ensuring maximum submersion of the orca to prevent internal organ damage from the pressure of its own weight. As darkness fell, the situation only became more complicated. However, instead of halting the rescue operation, more volunteers continued to arrive at the scene. Residents from surrounding areas, learning of the incident, dropped everything and came to help. The Boomerang Club played a crucial role, their equipment, dry suits and tents, making it possible to continue rescue work in night conditions. Volunteers in dry suits worked as a single mechanism. They carefully maneuvered ice flows, trying to create a corridor for the orca, while veterinarians prepared necessary equipment and medications. First, specialists treated the animal's blowhole with petroleum jelly, a simple but vital measure to maintain life functions. Monitoring the orca's breathing rate 3-4 times per minute gave hope. Despite the stress, vital signs remained normal. After consultation with a Moscow veterinarian, the decision was made to administer a hormonal preparation to maintain the animal's strength until high tide. The process of preparing the medicine became a separate operation. 3 people spent half an hour working to correctly draw up the necessary dose, opening one ampule after another. The drama intensified with each passing minute. The incoming water brought new problems. A heavy ice flow began pressing on the orca's fin, causing distressed cries. Volunteers, risking their own safety, attempted to rotate the ice blocks, knowing that in the worst case, they would have to dive and guide the animal underwater. Fortunately, when veterinarians managed to reach the orca by rubber boat, the injection near the fin was successful. The animal didn't even react to the procedure. A thorough examination brought encouraging news. No serious injuries were found, not even traces of blood. The orca's condition remained stable, giving hope for the operation's successful completion. Rescuers faced a difficult choice: either try to guide the orca along the channel or wait for a large wave and clear the path by dispersing nearby ice flows. The second option posed dangers to people, but delay could cost the animal's life. Nature seemed to hear the rescuers' prayers. After 3 hours, the long-awaited high tide reached its peak. The orca felt freedom of movement, and when the path was cleared in an arc, it shot like a torpedo toward the open sea. 12 hours of continuous struggle ended in victory. All 4 orcas were saved. This story became a vivid example of how people can unite in a critical moment for a common purpose. Local residents, rescuers, veterinarians, volunteers all worked shoulder to shoulder despite fatigue and harsh weather conditions. Their selflessness and professionalism prevented tragedy and preserved the lives of these amazing marine creatures. The events in Starodubskoye will go down in history as one of the most successful rescue operations of its kind. They showed that even in the most difficult situations, human determination, compassion, and teamwork can work real miracles. The orcas returned to their native element while people gained invaluable experience in interacting with these majestic marine mammals and with each other. Experts note that such incidents may become more frequent due to climate change and ice movement, making the experience gained during the Starodubskoye Orca rescue potentially invaluable for future rescue operations. Local authorities have already begun developing protocols for similar situations, while volunteer organizations are considering creating special rapid response teams. This story isn't just about saving animals. It's about human ability to unite in the face of danger, about rescuers' professionalism and volunteers' dedication, about the importance of not remaining indifferent to others' misfortune. It reminds us that we bear responsibility for preserving marine fauna and that every life is priceless, whether human or not. In conclusion, it's worth noting that this operation's success became possible thanks to the coordinated actions of all participants. From simple villagers who first noticed the orcas in distress to professional rescuers and veterinarians, each made their irreplaceable contribution to the common cause. This story will remain in the memory of all participants as an example that through joint efforts, any difficulties can be overcome, and even creatures seemingly doomed to perish can be saved.